In this video, we'll be reviewing the Wise app, an online multi-currency account that also comes with its own Visa debit card. I've been using the Wise app for about 2 years now, and if you're someone like me who travels, receives money from overseas, or if you buy anything online in different currencies, then this may be the best app you can use. I'll be talking about the features of the app, so what you can do with it, and how it's been really helpful for me and how I like to use it. But I'll also be talking about some of the issues I have with the app that you're going to want to know before you sign up. So stick till the end of the video to find out whether or not this app is suitable for you. So let's get into it. Cha-ching! Starting with the features, essentially, Wise lets you send and receive money internationally, and it also comes with its own Visa debit card. When you sign up for Wise, you will be entitled to about 10 bank accounts that you can receive money in. Any bank account from these countries can directly transfer money to your Wise bank account, and you will receive it in your Wise app. You can also send money via bank transfer to more than 75 countries, and this has been very helpful for me, and I'll talk about it more later. But besides that, you also get a Visa debit card that you can use to spend normally like you would on any other debit card. And you can use this card overseas as well to buy things, or even at ATMs to withdraw cash, but there are some limitations to it which I'll talk about later. You can also get virtual debit cards, which is useful for online transactions where you don't need a physical card. Now we know about the features, let's talk about how this would be used in a practical manner. Firstly, I'm able to send money via bank transfer to overseas accounts, which saves me money. Wise claims that they give the best exchange rates compared to traditional banks, and they even give you a comparison with other banks in real time to show you how much money you save with them when you send money via Wise. Also, in the interface, you can see exactly how much money the recipient is receiving, so there's no confusion there. If you have relatives overseas, this is a great way to send money to them. But how I use this is that when I'm traveling and I have to pay for a big expense, like for example a tour, I would directly transfer the money to the tour operator's bank account, and this would save me money. For example, when I was in Vietnam, I was going to pay for a tour that cost about 1,000 ringgit. I could pay with cash in Vietnam Dong or USD, but I didn't want to carry that cash around. I could pay with my card, but like many other companies, they would charge a 5% transaction fee if you pay with card. Or I could pay them online through their payment portal, and they use something like Stripe or PayPal, and they would charge 5 to 8% of the transaction fee. So what I did instead was I transferred money directly to the Vietnamese tour operator's bank account, and this was the most convenient way to do it. If I were to pay by card, I would be paying around 50 to 70 ringgit in fees, but with the bank transfer, I only paid around 20 ringgit. So these bank transfers can take anywhere between 1 minute to 6 hours. It depends on the day and hour you're transferring and which country you're in. Usually it's faster during working hours. The second way I use it is to receive money via bank transfer from overseas accounts. This is really convenient for me because I work with companies overseas and they send me money in their currency. For example, these overseas companies could pay me via online platforms like PayPal or Pioneer, but the problem with that is that every time I withdraw my money from these platforms, they charge about 5% for their platform fees. Instead, I asked the company to directly transfer the money to my UK bank account because the company is based in the UK. So for them, it's very convenient and easy, just like you would transfer money from Maybank to CIMB in Malaysia. Once they transfer money to my Wise UK bank account, that money will appear in my app, and I can use it to spend with my debit card, or I can use it to send money to other people. So if you receive money from overseas, especially in different currencies, then this may be very useful for you. And the third way I use Wise is by using the physical and virtual cards. When I travel overseas, I use this card to spend on everything that I don't use cash for, and it would be like a normal debit or credit card that you would use with chip and pin or tap to pay. I can also use it as an ATM card to withdraw money. And I don't even have to convert my money to the currency of the country I'm in because Wise does this automatically. I think this is really cool because it makes it a very seamless experience when it comes to currency exchange. I also use this card to withdraw money from ATMs overseas when I need cash in the local currency. Okay, so while I was editing this video, Wise actually released a new feature which is basically QR Pay, and this is really useful because in some small shops they don't accept cards, but they do accept QR Pay. From my experience when I was in Thailand, they also have their own version of QR Pay, and Wise says that right now it only works in Singapore, I think, probably Malaysia too, but they will be adding this feature to more countries in the future, so that's really useful. When I'm traveling, I also use the virtual cards to buy stuff online like train or bus tickets, and I also use it for apps like Grab or Uber. Even when I'm not traveling, I use the virtual cards to buy stuff online that are in different currencies. So for example, my Audible membership is about $15 a month, and I use this virtual card to pay for it. So the good thing about virtual cards is that you can make new ones and delete old ones as much as you like. This can be useful because if your card has been hacked or compromised, you can just delete your virtual card and create a new one and use it instantly. This way, you don't have to pay or wait for a replacement physical card to start using it again. If your physical card was compromised, then you would have to replace it, and Wise charges around 15 ringgit and you wait around 3 weeks. They also charge another express delivery, which is around 60 ringgit, and you receive it in 5 days. So this is why I only use my physical card when I absolutely need to. Other than that, I always use the virtual cards. And since we're talking about cards being compromised and hacked, let me tell you about when this happened to me and how the Wise customer support team helped me out when this happened. So a few months back, both my virtual and physical cards were compromised. I was seeing unauthorized transactions being made on my account, and I lost about 500 ringgit. This happened to me most likely because I was using my card on a website which data got leaked, and that's how my card details were exposed. So I reported these unauthorized transactions to Wise, and within 24 hours, the customer support team reached out to me, cancelled my cards, and refunded me all the money that I had lost. At first, I didn't even expect to get my money back, or at the very least, I didn't expect it to happen in less than 24 hours because this is a debit card and the money has already been used and taken out. But I was pleasantly surprised with the Wise customer support and fraud protection team, and they even gave me a free replacement physical card. I still had to wait about 2 to 3 weeks for my replacement card, but overall I'm very happy with the support I received from the Wise team. But there are issues and problems I've had with Wise, and sometimes these can be very inconvenient. Firstly, I've had issues with the physical card. Tap to pay doesn't work sometimes, and I need to use chip and pin. This is not a problem until I go to a place that only accepts tap to pay, and then this card becomes unusable. I've heard other people have this issue too, and Wise has not been very helpful to help solve this problem. And in some places, when the card machine asks for which account you're using with the card, so example, are you using your savings, your current, or your credit account? None of these options work. All 3 options don't work, and it's a bit embarrassing sometimes at the restaurant when you've already tried 3 times and it still doesn't work. So in the end, I just end up paying with my credit card or cash. I'm just gonna get out of the sun right here. So the second issue I have with Wise is the fraud protection and insurance. So I know I just said good things about the fraud protection and the unauthorized transactions earlier, but just hear me out. So Wise is not a bank. They state on their website that they are a money services provider and a financial technology company. While it does offer many of the services that a traditional bank offers as well, and at a much better rate, it doesn't offer some important services that other traditional banks do. And one of these services is banking insurance. So Wise is not PIDM insured, which means that if something goes wrong with Wise, or if you lose your money in fraud, you may not be able to get it back. So going back to when my cards were being compromised, if Wise didn't resolve the issue and help me get it back, my money might just have been gone and there's no way for me to get it back. So for this reason, I don't typically hold a lot of money in my Wise account, just enough for my travel expenses, and then I just top it up when I need to. Also, there are people who report their Wise accounts getting banned and shut down out of the blue, and they cannot get their money back that they have inside. But this is most likely because they have been breaking the rules of Wise. So Wise is very strict in terms of who you send money to, and only using your money to actually send it to other people and not sending it on anyone else's behalf. Every time you send money, they ask who you're sending to, what you're sending it for, and to make sure that this is actually your money that you're sending and not someone else's. If you break these rules, they can ban you from the platform and you have no way of getting your money back. These measures are put in place to protect Wise from international money laundering and fraud, because making online and international bank transfers very convenient will also open you up to risk of international money laundering. And when I say you, I don't mean you personally, I mean Wise as the company. So that's why they have to put these rules in place. But as long as you follow the rules set by Wise, you should be fine. The third and final issue I have about Wise is their customer support. I know earlier I said that the customer support team helped me out a lot to get my money back when my cards were being compromised, but other than that, if I have any general issues, it's actually very hard to get in touch with them. So they don't have a support email or chat that you can just ask them questions on. Instead, they have a lot of articles and FAQs where you can kind of problem solve your own and troubleshoot your own problems. And I think you should read these articles and Q&As on the Wise website to find out more about how your money is being held. But sometimes it can be annoying if these articles don't help you with your problem and there's no way to get in touch with their support team. For example, the problem with Tap to Pay not working, there are support articles regarding it, but none of them are relevant, and there is just simply no way for me to get in touch with them. In most of my experience with the Wise customer service, they will decide when they want to reach out to you, and it's not the other way around where you decide when you want to reach out to them. So that's my review of the Wise app as of right now in mid-2023. While there are some issues with it, I think the benefits massively outweigh the downsides, especially for someone like me who deals a lot in foreign currency for work and travel. The only other app I know that is similar to Wise in Malaysia is BigPay. They also have a debit card that you can spend money overseas, but they don't have the feature of letting you transfer, send, or receive money internationally. Therefore, I conclude that Wise is the best app right now if you want to send, receive, or spend money internationally in foreign currencies. Do you have experience with the Wise app? Let us know down in the comments below, and we'd love to hear what you think of it.